Typical. I'm a master at getting red lights. A master. Top of this screen's right in my eye line. ...2018 Road King. Very smooth bike. Smooth. Yeah, this screen, which I know is detachable, this windshield, on a long trip I can tell you right now, it would annoy the absolute crap out of me because it is right in my eye line. You know, if I was tall, if I was 6'4" or something like that, it wouldn't be an issue. Although then I'd be getting buffeting. But it is right in my eye line. It would drive me insane. I'd probably end up just taking it off and copping all the wind. It looks like a big, cumbersome, heavy bike, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like the Road Glide. The Road Glide felt like a big, heavy bike when I rode that. Milwaukee 8, 6-speed. I believe this has stock pipes, so it's fairly timid in terms of sound. It's got a nice bit of get up and go to it. Yeah, not bad. This bike feels a lot lighter and a lot more nimble from what it looks. I can say that, it really does. With this windshield on, buffeting, very similar to, in terms of the top of the head, very similar to the Road Glide. Although obviously I can feel more wind on my arms and my hands, which I couldn't feel on the Road Glide. So on a bitterly cold morning, you'd want to have some good gauntlets on. Yeah, it's got some good get up and go, this bike. Which, you know, most of them, all the Milwaukee 8s have. It appears to be a good engine. Torquey, performs well. Who would be attracted to this bike? Because to be quite honest, where I live in Melbourne, Australia, I don't see a lot of Road Kings getting around. And the ones that I do see are older models. When I say older models, I'm talking, you know, sort of mid-2000s. And I think that's purely because of the affordability. You know, they're at an affordable price when they're that age. I don't see many of the newer ones getting around Melbourne. The Road King would attract, you know, more that classic traditional Harley rider. You know, it's got all the chrome, all the bling. You know, it looks like an older bike. You know, it reminds me of that TV show Chips. The front of them. You know, if it was white, it'd look like them, and I think they were Road Kings, those bikes. Okay, so I'm doing 80 kilometres an hour, and the top of this windscreen is vibrating and sort of sending a vibrating, buffeting feeling over the top of the helmet. I'm not liking that. What happens if I speed up a bit? Does it get worse? This bike, I know I've said it twice, and I'm going to say it a third time, this bike feels a lot lighter than what it is. I don't know, I hope the camera can pick up how much that's vibrating. And it seems to happen around that 80 kilometre an hour mark. Now, in terms of who it appeals to, they do have the Road King Special, which does not come with the windshield, but I would imagine you could get it as an option. Now that bike there, that looks sick. That is awesome. I love the look of the Road King Special. Really looks sensational. And if I was in the Road King market, I'd buy the Road King Special. I just think it's a better looking bike. Everything's blacked out. I'm going to say this bike here, I think this bike here, given how it feels so light, I think you could use this around town as a daily commuter. I'm quite confident. If I took this shield off, because it's annoying the hell out of me, I took this shield off and I was just to commute on a daily basis around the city and so forth, you know, a little bit of highway, a little bit of freeway, then into the city, this bike could do it easily. You know, I wouldn't feel like I'm trying to maneuver something big and heavy around, because it just doesn't feel like it's big and heavy. It's very torquey. Brakes, I don't know if this has got ABS. I'd imagine it would have, surely. I think all the new touring models have got ABS, haven't they? Don't know about that. I know my Harley's got ABS, and when I brake I hear a buzzing noise. Initially I thought there was an issue with the bike, and I took it back and I said, listen, there's something wrong with it, you know. Every time I touch the brakes I hear a bzzz. I said, yeah mate, that's the ABS. Now I can't hear that buzzing noise on this. It's not to say it hasn't got it. If you're in the market for a tourer and, you know, a fairing, as in a Road King fairing or the Street Glide fairing, doesn't interest you at all, and you like that naked look, and you're happy to take that off and ride around with that naked look, and you know you're not interested in a factory radio or the factory GPS, you know, if none of that razzmatazz interests you, you definitely need to take one of these for a ride, because I don't know what the specs are, but this bike feels lighter than those two. It's very open in terms of vision, and essentially it's on the same chassis. I'm almost certain that the Road Glide, the Road King and the Street Glide all share the same chassis. So this is one you need to come and test ride, because it's a very comfortable bike to ride. It's not an ugly bike. It's a nice bike, I really like it. It's got more than enough get up and go. Be no problem with this on the freeway or even on the highway, having to overtake, you know, 2 or 3 cars or a semi-trailer. Wouldn't be an issue with this machine. I think I'd love to ride this bike on a coastal road, a windy coastal road, take the screen off, you know, so I can get that sea air and just enjoy the sights and be nice. It's nice and manoeuvrable. Maybe along the Great Ocean Road in Victoria. This would be a great bike to take along there. The instrument cluster, very traditional. You got this standard speedo, and you've got your digital tacho. Digital tacho, not a real fan of. Got the gear indicator on there as well. I thought there might be a scroll button to scroll through a couple of menus, you know, like range to empty for fuel. Surely it's got it. Has cruise control. I would have thought it would have had a digital readout saying, you know, how many kilometres or miles to empty. Very comfortable seating position. Handlebar height for me, fine. I couldn't see me on a long trip on this bike getting sore shoulders. Yeah, don't think that'd happen. Yeah, I'm getting that vibrating, buffeting sensation again at 80 kilometres an hour. Slow riding on this, quite easy, not an issue, very well balanced. What are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? Would I buy one of these bikes? I wouldn't buy this bike, but that's not because there's something wrong with it or I don't like it. I do like this bike, and there's nothing wrong with this bike. I actually love the way it feels lighter than what it is. But I like all the mod cons. I like either the Road Glide or the Street Glide that has the infotainment system. I like all that sort of jazz, and that is the only reason I wouldn't buy this bike. Yeah, it gets up and goes, this bike. It's pretty good. Very torquey. But all the Harleys are. Highway pegs? Oh yes, I guess you could put highway pegs on this, but someone my size, I don't think I'd need them. I'm happy enough just to sit my heels on the floorboards, and yeah, that's a comfortable position for me. Hello, what's going on here? Very good bike, very impressed.